Hi, welcome to another stream. How's it going? Let me readjust my seat. There we go. I've been having internet connection issues, which I think I fixed now by physically moving the router into a very, very impractical location. So, just hoping for the best. My dream would be to have, like, my own studio, my own location, internet in it, soundproofing, the whole shebang. But that's a lot of effort, and I definitely don't have access to that. Either way, I need something to draw today. My instinct is to draw Raven doing... probably just standing there cool-like. Any thoughts? Just having a look at some reference images. Although, I don't think looking for sword fighter references is going to work. Not quite the fighting style. Yeah, it should be fine. No thoughts, only vibes. Excellent. That's what we're looking for. Alright, well, let's transition to something. And today I'm trying something even more experimental. I have got 2 instances of Crit open. I've got 2 instances of OBS open. And I'm going to try and record a speed draw at the same time as streaming. Which, that's going to be an interesting experience, I think. As long as it all works. That's just a theory. Anyway. Oh, I didn't even test if the screen was working properly today. Looks good. So I should be able to move around this screen like I normally do, and do all my scribbles and bring up my references when I need to. And then in my recording it should stay nice and like vertical, nice and level. Because I prefer it when I can see what's going on when people are doing speed drawings, rather than all the in and out. Interesting experience equals pain in the butt. Yeah, that is my polite speak. Okay, so Raven doing something cool. I think I need to change the pen nib as well at some point. That's not a right now problem. Oh, wait, here we go. Not a Raven picture without some live point paper. It's just the way of it. No, this feels too flat. So what have you been up to recently? Anything interesting? My music's still very loud in my head. There we go. Draw. Draw something different. This all makes sense in my head. Except that Raven is right-handed, so this is a good start. Started playing Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, been enjoying that. Ooh. I have heard of that, and that's about as far as my knowledge goes. So it's good. What kind of game is it? Like adventure, platforming type thing, although game design is way more complicated than just that sort of idea. Oh, I haven't plugged in my USB into the computer, so you might hear some tapping. Let me rectify that. Bing, 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 bing. That should help. Because I personally have not been playing that many varied games. I tried hurdling recently on Game Pass. And it's definitely chill at the moment. I didn't get very far, about 20 minutes of gameplay. And I feel like it's going to have a lot more to it. That's just my gut reaction so far, though. Da-da-da. Maybe I should look up some references of fences. That would probably be smart. Except I don't like how any of those look. Oh well. If I can see it in my second screen though, I might have a better chance. Let's see. Been watching the trailers coming out of Gamescom. Some good looking stuff coming out. Yes, except I can't remember most of them, but I know I've seen quite a lot of the Xbox trailers, and there's a lot of promise out there. Although the one game that has kind of stolen the show for me is Helldivers. With an official teaming up with Xbox to bring in the original Helldivers, quote unquote, ODST. I know they're not actually the original Helldivers, but they're the original Helldivers for me. Back when ODST came out and was a phenomenal game. Bubsy 4D was a surprise. I hadn't heard of Bubsy before, I don't think, but the way they did it, the actual self-referential to how bad 3D was, and the fact that Atari's still doing stuff, I thought that was brilliant. It was a great trailer. That's doing trailers right. But I've never... Maybe I have heard of Bubsy, but not off the top of my memory. I actually have a reference for Raven I should look at. That is editing Raven. I don't want to edit Raven. Then I'm going to bring this into the into the file. I need to double check that it's not going to interfere with the recording. I think we're good. I've got so many windows, so many screens open. Okay, I found the chat again. Hello again, chat. Okay, that head's going to be too high up, I think. Trying to work a little bit with some foreshortening. Oh, apparently my my recent video was a pretty decent hit. At least on YouTube. I think on TikTok it did terribly. Well, by my standards of terrible. Excited to play Resident Evil 9 and Silent Hill F. Is that one that's set in Japan? Silent Hill F. I didn't watch those trailers, I know that much. I haven't watched any of today's trailers, thinking about it. I didn't even get around to watching Timberborners today. Ended up watching Thunder Spin. Yeah, Thunder Spin. That one's doing well. I ended up watching the... Oh my gosh, what are they called? The Past Life series. There we go. Complicated. Let those prongs in a little bit. I want to focus on this shoulder line, I think. Anyway, yeah, the Japanese... No, Silent Hill F looks really, genuinely... That might be the first Silent Hill that I'm going, nope, that's spooky. Going back to the very first Silent Hill, I think it was, where I got so stuck on the opening section that I couldn't pass it, and so I quit. Basically rage quit. Nobody was around to tell me that I was supposed to lose that bit. Which is hilarious. Okay, I'm just sort of blocking in their face shape for a minute. Might not be finalized. Spooky, gross, yet somehow pretty is silent. Yeah. Yes. All of those words. All of those words work well for that description. So many people got stuck there. It's not our fault that the default nature was to turn off the console and start again. It was easier to do that than it was to wait for any game over screen, especially right at the beginning. I don't know if that foreshortening is going to work. Going for it anyway. This is not going to be my finest art. See if I can go for the Miyabi ear style. Here we go, Miyabi ear. I'm still playing ZZZ. Somehow. And I am quite excited for 2.2, I think it's called. It looks like there's going to be some fun mini games. Mostly tower defense. I'm looking forward to tower defense. You can have a drink. No, you're absolutely right. Too short. Ears off the page. Da 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 da. How's that? I think we're on to a winner. Do you have some exciting teaser? I have an exciting teaser. I can't really announce it yet, but I've been working on a thing this weekend, which I'm going to be very excited to release eventually. At some point over the next month, I think it is. It is Reforge based. But because of certain things, I can't say anymore. Not NDA or anything nonsense like that. Need to get you to do something with the Ray twins. Yeah, to narrow that down. Twins are a genetic component. Sun and Lu. You know what, at some point, I really do. I haven't drawn those two together in a very long time. Okay. We'll have to I think we've got a brainstorm thing we're supposed to brainstorm together anyway. Possibly to do with those two. Possibly to do with something else. I can't remember. Memory is too tricky. Also, enunciating is tricky. No. No more flick. There we go. Something's coming together. Why don't we brainstorm now? What do you want to do? What do you want me to do with the Ray twins? Something interesting. Something them. Young them. Old them. That moment where it all went wrong for both of them. But mostly Lu. It mostly went wrong for Lu. I mean, obviously it sucked for Ton, but she wasn't the one that was dead. It's also getting closer to the horror season, so I'm going to start drawing some gruesome things before long. Don't know if I can put that on stream though. But I can try. What's a few YouTube strikes, eh? Just sketching in the hand. And trying to keep myself talking while I'm doing so. I don't want to focus too hard. I was watching a streamer who I'm not particularly a fan of. And she just went quiet for minutes. Because nothing was happening. And I don't want to do that. Through some things. So a particular silver dragon. Ooh. You know what? Yes. Alright. I'm putting that on my notepad. Notepad. Silver dragon. Removal of limbs. Or something to that effect. Now this hand is completely facing the wrong way. That's a bit better. Don't know if the foreshortening works, but foreshortening is hard. I was watching Dan, the most recent episode on Netflix, and they've got some incredible animation work. How do I even describe it? Everything is super exaggerated in its movements. I guess that's one way to describe it. So, oh gosh, how do we... So when there's running, it's something like... Oh no, the character pushed aside some enemies, and his arms basically took up that whole screen. And those were feet. Like, it was really clever. Hi. Kaizaki? Hi, hello. I am doodling and rambling. Which is usually how I do things around here. Yeah, I was really impressed with that Dan animation. And I'd love to see more of it. I know Dan does really well. Let's try and put in these spines. How did I get them in the reference? Something like... Not to go too quiet again. If you have any ideas for drawing, I would love to hear them. I don't plan on doing all the line work for this in one go today. Mostly getting the line work down, and then I can turn this into a full speed draw for Tuesday. And let's see if I can see the chat. Because I closed it again. Ah. Okay, having 2 instances of OBS open is definitely painful. I'm trying to redraw a few characters from a story I'm trying to make. Ooh, that's cool. Where can I find you? Have you got any socials? I'm curious. I'd like to see. Sabbath says, eventually I'll watch it. I'm just... Look, that is totally fine. I might be able to put it on a Sunday, but it's not really... It's not really a super family-friendly show. And my partner doesn't enjoy it, so... I'm sure you'll find some way of watching it. Maybe with an eye patch. And a parrot. Oh, that's the point. I'm asking you to say if there's any socials, but I don't know if you can actually post links. That's one thing I enjoy doing when I occasionally watch streams, is to draw along with the stream. Just like multitask, chill in the background. I have 3 of my YouTube accounts. I was mainly on DeviantArt. Ooh. Okay, I won't read that out loud, but I am making a note of it somehow. How do I copy that? Okay, I'll write it in my notepad anyway, so I can look you up. Because I love seeing what people can do. Yeah, I miss the good old days of DeviantArt. Which is why I'm much happier on cheesy.art at the moment. Got all that old customization. Third YouTube. It's something stupid I did for no reason. No, that's a vibe. Absolutely own it. Oh, I want to wait until after the stream to have a look at your stuff, but I'm really curious. Are we patient? Okay, I think... Honestly, I'm pretty much done with the sketch work. A few tweaks maybe. But nothing that can't be fixed in the line work. I say, continuing to do it. Stop. Stop drawing, ton. Okay. I want to stop that, save it, and stop the recording on the other side. There we go. So I've got a little bit of time left. About 20 minutes. What else should I draw? I'm going to set up for recording as well. What's the date today? 08/22. You're biased. Needs more Tarleah. You're also not wrong. Switch over to new view. Pose. What can we have Tarleah doing? And while I ponder that question, I also look for her reference. It's very nice having her up on Art Fight. Oop. Okay, now there's... Nope, good. I've got so many windows open right now. Never ending. Hey, we can draw a Tarleah. I just need a pose. Something... Looking up online, having some ideas. Reading comments, Tarleah would look nice in an autumnal pic. I couldn't agree more. I've already drawn her in a lovely sweater outfit before. Let me... Oh my god, I forgot how flooded the internet is with AI. Blech. Get me the eye bleach. Something autumnal. Let's see. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Making apps I go. As usual. I hate redraws. Every time I try to draw someone I did before. No! Seems to go worse. No. I know how you feel though. How do I... What advice do I have for that? I don't have any advice for that because I always draw them worse as well. I think the only advice I can really give is just to not lean into the mistakes, but kind of own them. Know that it's going to come out differently and accept those differences. Most people aren't going to notice tiny variations. Might notice big ones. But I don't think it particularly matters. And this is why I don't do advice. I'm terrible at it. Body is way too long. And that's not how... That's better. Even if it changes the character. Essentially... See, this is why I want to see what you're doing. Are you live right now? Are you doing any live drawing, or are you just drawing offline? Because I can guarantee, even though I draw Tanray a million times, it still comes out different nearly every time. I don't think people notice. The biggest critic is always going to be yourself. Here's me hoping that Bulu comes and backs me up for that. Only draw on pencil, no digital, no live stuff. No worries. Just me being hopeful. This is the worst swing I have ever drawn. And I've only ever drawn one. That one. This is going so well. This is what I need to work on. I need to work on sitting, people. Because for some reason, I just can't get it right. References are your friends. Sitting on swing. Wow, an actual stock image. Guys, the internet isn't truly dead yet. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm too wrong with that. I might change where the hands are placed. Wing it and hope for the best. Makes you feel alive. I haven't been on a swing in ages. Something quite relaxing about just chilling on a swing, sitting there, going back and forth. Or on one of those giant swings. Fit for like 4 people. Hanging over the edge of a cliff. Those are good times. Yeah, I might be the only one on that one. Okay, I feel better with that. I need to do more traditional work. Especially with pen. I like the challenge of drawing in pen and having no safety net. So when you do make a mistake, you gotta... Well, you've really gotta work with them. I've drawn Jill and Victoria like a million times, and they've been mildly to noticeably different every time. And the people who paid don't mind or notice. Absolutely. At the end of the day, especially with people who are going to pay for your work, if there is something that they don't like about it, or you've agreed that you'll do edits and things, they will tell you about it. So if you've drawn a picture for them, just as an example, if you've drawn a picture for them and you think it's terrible, you think that the character looks awful or the pose is terrible, but they come out and they say they love it, well, they are the one who is in the right. I had a marker and coloured Sagwa cat. It bled right through 3 pieces of paper. Oh, oh no. Well, that could be a paper issue, but 3 pieces. Wow. I have markers. They exist. They're in my house somewhere. I think I said I'd use them at one point. Right, what am I doing with this chain? I'm making it a rope. I do like that though. Okay. I don't think this sketch is going to be done by the end of the day. So I've got about just over 10 minutes left. If the sketch isn't finished, I'll end the stream, but I'll continue working on the sketch and just have something prepared for the following week. Although none of that shows up on this channel, it all goes to my main channel, Tarleah. Which was kind of funny. Enjoy your lunch. Rubber marker, paper helps, but some markers love to bleed. Yeah, exactly. Have a good lunch, Kaisuke. Reforge released... I don't know if they released it onto YouTube, but they released it in the Discord. A little short compilation of some of the content creators, and I was in there. And I was named as Toon Ray because that's the channel that I release my Reforged content on. That felt weird. I much prefer being a Toon Ray, but... I mean, technically, if you want to find my Reforged content, Toon Ray is the location. Ironic that Toon Ray isn't the location where I'll be putting animation. It could cause some frustration. But I'll need a citation. Don't tell me off for that. I've never been able to do markers. But not because I've got bad markers. Possibly because I got bad markers. But mostly because it's scary. I was just talking about how how drawing in pen is fun because there's no safety net. But drawing with markers is scary. Somebody make that make sense. Alright, we need an outfit. I'm thinking a loose fitting top. Like that. This hand is abysmal. I'll come back to it later. Loose fitting top. Possibly knitted. That's my, that is my marker for knitted. I always wear my ink. Yeah, I've seen that. I can't make sense of it. I'm scared of drawing. I can't make sense of that. You've got all these crazy ideas, awesome ideas, and lots of people around you who can help, but you're still scared of drawing it. And I understand that's not me trying to convert you, that's just... that doesn't make sense either. I'm still convinced that basically everyone can draw. I might be wrong in that, but that's my opinion. Okay, then we'll have short skirt, I think. Starting to feel a little bit Christmassy. But I can live with that. I come up with the ideas and pay an artist to make them happen. And you have great ideas, honestly. Any artist who draws your things, surely happy to do so, because you got brilliant ideas. How many times can I say that word without repeating myself? Okay, then we'll have the hair come out this way. Ears as well, I think. How does it look on my flat screen? Yeah, not bad. I'll take it. It's gonna be hair, that's gonna help. My plans for next week. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing, because the fam are going to be out quite early in the day, so they might be coming back quite early in the evening, which might interrupt my normal stream time. So I might instead, as long as I wake up in time, I might do a long Reforged stream. So instead of an hour, I go for, well, until I stop, basically. How does that sound? Any takers on that? Or is that too crazy? Because it might be too crazy. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten how to do swings. The legs go forward when you're going, well, forward. All my momentum feels like it should be going that way. Yeah, I'll live with it. Sounds good. Yay! Does me no art, but I'll be doing some kind of art. I've been working on my dragon a little bit, and I basically bulked out the tail. It looks really good. My very humble opinion. Let's do a little open mouth. Yeah, that's what I thought. Beautiful. Honestly, time's gone really quickly today. Maybe it is because I've drawn a couple of sketches. Looking forward to him being done. Oh, it's going to be magnificent. I hope. I know I was sounding confident a second ago, but now I'm back to... Everything is leaning in the right direction. It's just a matter of if I can pull it off. But he's still going to look huge. So I'm excited about that.
I just hope that someday someone would love me.
Yeah, I think we're doing good here. Okay. I think what I'll do with this is I'll wrap up and save it for, not for next week, but for next week's speed draw. And just work on the lines, not today, possibly Tuesday. Either way, another day. But other than that, I think we're basically done for now. I'll give her feet another time. I mean, she doesn't quite look like her references, but as I was saying before, I don't think it matters too much if you tweak it, lean into the changes. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop my other recording. Half looking forward to seeing what this looks like in the edit. It looks like I didn't drop any frames for the rest of the stream. I dropped so many before properly going live. It was really worrying. But, you know, I've got the internet box sitting on a chair in the middle of the room right now, so I'll do that again next week. I hope you have a good time. Thank you very much for watching if you made it this far. And yeah, I've got nothing else to say. All that matters is, are they recognizable? Exactly. And on that note, thank you very much. Bye-bye. Johnny.